Deadpool is directed by Tim Miller and stars Ryan Reynolds, and it's a comic book superhero film slash love story slash revenge story. And from the very opening credits, you know exactly what type of movie this is going to be, and it is one hell of a time. And of course, this movie makes up for that shitty attempt at this character in that god-awful Wolverine movie. And the best part about this movie is it doesn't pull any punches. This movie gives zero f***s. Everything from the humor to the action is done so like appropriately and done in a way where it's sort of over the top, but it's really appropriate for this character. Because a lot of the jokes in this is like things that a lot of other movies are kind of afraid to say and do. And this movie is super violent, and it's not done in an off-putting way. It's not violent just to be violent, and it's not gory just to be gory. And the violence is done so appropriate for this character. There's a point in the movie where he cuts a guy's head off and then soccer kicks it into another guy. And that's something that I would kind of expect from Deadpool. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about the Deadpool character, but I know enough about the character, and everything in this movie is just done so perfect for this character. And going back to the action, it's framed very well, and it's the right amount of flash. You see him do all these crazy flips in the trailer, and you can see the point to all that flash, and it's just, again, it's so appropriate for the character. And Ryan Reynolds is the absolute perfect person to play Deadpool. I mean, he has such a firm grasp and understanding for Deadpool, and it's his style of humor would just fit this character. And there's one thing that I was hoping they would do, and I'm so glad that they did it, was Deadpool breaking the fourth wall constantly. He does it a lot in this film, and it's not just him talking to the camera a lot. It's a lot of like him interacting with the camera. He references things in the real world, like movies, actors. Ryan Reynolds pokes fun at himself when he's talking to the camera as well. I really enjoyed those parts. And he also pokes fun at the filmmaking process as well. Like, there's just one point in the movie where he makes fun of how like X-Men ties into this movie, and it's just, I really enjoyed that aspect of the film. And Ed Sheeran is a very good villain in this film. And it's not that about his motivations. Usually I like villains that I can understand their motives. It wasn't his motives that I like. I just like the overall character and how he interacts with Deadpool, and how he's sort of more of the catalyst for Deadpool to go on his revenge story. And it also ties into his love story as well, and I really liked him as a villain. And as far as the love interest in this film, it's not just shoehorned in here. It's not your typical like love story in a superhero film. And what I really liked about the relationship in this film was you believe their story. You believe that these two characters could fall for each other. And like I said before, this movie is a hell of a good time. There really isn't any dull points in this movie. There is a little bit of pacing issue for me. Not so much pacing, but the movie opens with that action scene that we saw in the leaked footage. And it's sort of told in a non-linear type of way. You go from that action sequence, then it jumps back to how he becomes Deadpool, then it jumps back to that action sequence for a little bit. And it wasn't so much of a pacing issue. It was when you're in that action sequence and Deadpool's being Deadpool, you're like at this high. But then when you go back to the point where Deadpool is becoming Deadpool, it's a little bit slower, and there was just a really big contrast for me. But regardless of that, seeing Deadpool become Deadpool was just as fun and interesting as the action sequence in the beginning. And like I said before, I love when movies are told in a non-linear fashion. I absolutely eat that shit up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But in the end, I thoroughly enjoyed myself with this movie. It is the funniest movie I've seen in a very long time. The action, the humor, the violence, everything is done to the right amount of ridiculous, the right amount of jokes. It's just, everything about this movie is a really good time. I absolutely recommend you go see this movie. And of course, Deadpool is getting a yeah.
Oh yeah!
So if you're looking for a place to get your website started, look no further than domain.com. They have all the tools you need to get your website up and running. Everything from domain registry to online hosting. So go to the link here and use the coupon code AFFNEW at checkout and save 15% off your new domain. And remember, when you think domain names, think domain.com. So, Deadpool, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Leave a comment below, tell me your thoughts. Please, if you enjoyed watching this video, hit that thumbs up button below and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, thank you so much for watching. If you like this, you can click right here and see more videos. Bye, Andrew.